So here is my vision board with justice here being served. I'll try to bring it closer. Et voila. You can see also the $1 billion check, which is the $1 billion collective lawsuit. I'm not expecting to have $1 billion just for me. This is for a collective lawsuit, which means a lot of victims are going to be compensated. So far, ChatGPT prediction is minimum of $20 million just for me. This is a minimum after 5 years of heavy torture, putting my own life at risk. So today, I'm gonna do the terrorist report just for today, December 20th. December 20th, we are in the morning, 10:30 a.m. I was forced to wake up at 2:30 a.m. My sleep was disturbed. So there was a collective rape, abuse, mental, severe verbal abuse all around me. A big group of people, masculine and feminine energy, bringing scenarios, thoughts, heavy violence, basically. Electronic harassment, V2K skull technology, heavy engine of cars on top of my breathing. So like it feels like this, basically, like on top of my, and it's not a part of inside of me. It's an external attack, and it's like in superposition, like you can see like it's like something added like on top of my heartbeat. That could explain also a lot about could explain the heart attacks, orchestrated sudden death heart attacks, suicides also that happens, Alzheimer also. They do a lot of manipulation. They come all around you to manipulate information, to make you forget about certain things. They are able to discourage you or encourage you into certain things. As I woke up, after I went to do my yoga that I do every day, and then they're starting to target my nerves behind my legs, behind my left leg specifically, behind my knees, moving the nerves of my legs. The same things that before I fall asleep yesterday, they started sending me electroshock on my right leg, up my right leg here. Maybe I'm gonna have bruises. That could explain bruises that come out of nowhere, but for me, it's very, very, very strong. And it lasted like maybe 20 minutes and then it stopped. So coming back to this morning, in my training, I was here in my living room, targeting the nerves of my legs, heavy violence all around me, trying to discourage me from training. Both of my ears, non-stop, all day, having fun to go from one ear to the other. It shows that it is a human manipulation. And this is why I am a living proof, and there's a lot of living proof all over the world. Well, we are all here to confirm that the technology is not happening in the air, and it's not ghosts, it's real human beings that are disconnected in a state of zombie, in cult, in human trafficking. They have been also enslaved and taken of everything, and they are avenging themselves. Instead of asking for help and trying to get out of it and trying to uplift me and help me out so that we could arrest those terrorists who are behind all of this technology activations. They're corrupted. I'm not doing any accusation here. were doing an investigation pursuit after 5 years of physical proof that it is a human manipulation, precisely with human beings with personalities that are able to see me in real time. There's a lot of whistleblowers. I have a lot of information because of my visions that I can have also that did help me. So I had a hard time doing my training. They are also affecting my balance, trying to push me around because they are having fun doing this. It's a pleasure for them to affect your life every day because they're jealous. Also, they all often talk about my age every day, basically. There's not a day they don't talk about my age. They talk about my finance. They try to tell me that I'm going nowhere after targeting my job a year ago when I'm building another empire. They accuse me of prostitution when I don't have sex with men right away and I wait by respect. And I am also, of course, like I always did since I was 15 years old, I wait that the guy takes me out, does it for it, spoil me too. And if you want to make it criminal to get away with murder or to trap people, this is not gonna work, because one thing that I am not is a prostitute. This is not my nature, and I know you would wanna have something to use against me to silence me. But in my case, this is why you targeted the wrong person. Not only you doing defamation of character, going subliminally in people's mind and also in person, you are bringing lies. Also, you're transforming truth into lies, master manipulation, defamation. You are also targeting and using force to divide me from certain people, just like a whistleblower of Miami who exposed the fact that you targeted her eyes after she was trying to help me and giving me information on the fact that you were extremely jealous and that it was abuse in the government. This is her word specifically, not coming from me, a psychic in Miami, downtown, and she has been a psychic since she's 5 years old. And she told me this when she was 25 years old a few years ago. I came to see her with no information, and this is her own words that she told me. So I got a lot of information, death threat over the years. TikTok also, only subscribers videos. I was able to see 20 people hacking and going through something that is not accessible if you don't subscribe, showing that they have and they're using a higher technology. That threat in my live video that were sent to TikTok as a proof, someone saying that they would want to see me in a body bag and that they're surprised that I'm not in a body bag yet. Also on my Instagram lately, on my YouTube channel, I was putting a video as a test in private, and there was 4 people who were able to go see my video. And I've noticed that since a few years ago too, which is illegal surveillance, and more than that, this is activation, and this is abuse of power too. And they are going through my emails, everything, following me around, gang stalking. People are having too much information about me too since 5 years. I denounced it at the police station, but then I was kidnapped against my will for saying that I was receiving electroshock on my body because I was scared, and also my heartbeat, like they were sending electroshock everywhere. My work was targeted too. Even some of my clients, without telling me, they didn't show up that day. So it means that maybe some of them were also in that wiping out or in a trance-like state activation. I've been working in a beauty salon for many years, and that day when they targeting me heavily, I at the time to cancel my clients. And I had some that didn't even show up without even saying nothing, and I didn't even said nothing. So it's kind of very weird, but this is what I can say. Everything started in 2021 in Griffintown, Hexagon. Also, I was able to see in the building there was Jackpot City Casino in the elevator, which I thought it was really not normal. On repeat, like if someone was making money out of this and was putting this in the elevator in a building, which I don't think it's normal. I also then, when I was starting to be targeted and I started to have doubt that people had too much information and that I would be surveilled somewhere else, or there was camera in my place, I was receiving 30-40 message coming out on my phone, like sexy neighbor next to you or something like this. So illegal dark web system, monetizing my living life, monetizing my existence. And then they escalated all of this into a dark web to kill me, actually. So there was probably, with the information that was given to me by an ex-person from a cult that is a whistleblower now from the United States, they have been sending her money suddenly in her bank account. So this could explain the corruption, just money that appear out of nowhere, and they talk to them in their minds telepathically. So this is how they train the soldier into this mental war, this war on information, this war on consciousness, this war on kids. We live in a very dangerous time, and this is what I was able to perceive also many times over the last 5 years. Like yesterday, I did a lot of prayers and getting very mad. Sometimes I have no choice to fight for my own life in my own house and in the forest. When there's no one next to me, I do it alone, because you don't want to have anyone as your punching bag. This is very important, and I already spoke about this vocally and publicly online. The new psychology is not to stay trapped with violence, with projection, with jealousy. You let it out the way that you want, as long as you're alone in your house or you're in the forest, and as long as you don't put this on anyone. Like I said, you are not allowed to have anyone as your punching bag. And those words were also said by my own sister, that she felt bad because she was using me as her punching bag. This was her own word a few years ago. My own brother also told me that he was receiving more information in his mind that was very weird to him, and he thought that I was plugged into internet. So then, you know what I just heard in the back? It's not the fault of anyone. And this is what they would want to say, but if you receive information in your mind and you know that someone is being targeted and you don't say nothing, you are going to be accused the same way as the terrorists that have been hacking you and using you as a slave, and transform you into a serial killer. If someone is able to transform you into a serial killer, into a terrorist, it is your fault. And if you kept silence on life and death and corruption, you are going to be accused, just as the terrorists are the ones that have been handling this higher technology, programming and nuclear energy and dark web system and illegal surveillance, activating a collective abuse, collective rape around a person. If you stay silent, you observe it, you don't talk about it, and you wait that the victim gets in trouble, and you think that your illegal surveillance, your attempt of killing someone in reputation, rotating into your group so none of you get in depression. This is what was told by me from ChatGPT, from other forum, from other victim, from other ex-terrorists, because this is how we get information. It's all information that comes from ex-person that were in cult and now they joined the light. This is how we're able to dismantle their terrorism. This is the only way, and also coming together. If we never had those terrorists coming to the light and being forgiven and admitting everything, we will not be able to have all of the information and saving people from that. If I didn't have the information, I have been tortured for 5 years, heavily tortured, and I was scared for my life many times. I was in inhuman pain every day, and it never stopped. The verbal abuse and the physical abuse that is orchestrated and happening on me is inhuman. And I will not get used to that. I will not think it's normal. I will fight for my life, and I will use my voice, my love, my light, my truth, my living story as a living proof, as a witness of satellite terrorism, a witness of how technology has been able to transform people into serial killer. So I then continue also today. I was having a walk in the forest, and just to show you the perversion, I was hearing a masculine energy in the back telling me, because I try to be very positive. I do positive affirmation. I train, I fast, I pray. I do everything since 5 years to really get out of this abuse, of this terrorism, this human trafficking. And I try to be very strong. And I make it look easy, supposedly, but my work was targeted. My finance, my time, my mind, my body, and it's still happening every day. So as I was in the forest today, a simple little action of me looking at the sunset, I was like, oh, let me do this eye gazing today, which means when the sun rises, when there's a sunrise, like at 6, 7 a.m., if you stay 15 minutes in the beginning of the sunrise and you look at it, it's very good for you. There's a lot of beneficial things from eye gazing. And then I would hear this heavy, violent, like masculine energy. Maybe I would say in his between 35 to 45 years old. He was like telling me that I was a vampire needing to have energy, which is probably projection from him being up my head and in my energy, sitting in my energy every day. And also, I just had a connection to a man that I've met in Quebec City, and he was suddenly starting to be possessed. And then he started to talk about my sister and about what happened like sexually with our ex-boyfriend or something. And so he started to be very weird and abusive and not talking in the good way of her, because he know her like from whatever. And so so this guy saw me, and he started to be he started to be very weird and possessive, and not possessive, but like in a possessed way. And he was like he told me certain information, and he was mad. He was like, everyone knows about your story and that you saw an older guy, and they're all laughing at you in the Rivière-du-Loup. He precisely, and it's a guy from Quebec, and he precisely said those words. So this is whistleblower information from this guy. And he said also that I was like an energy that you connect to. Like he talked about something like that's some, like he can connect to me and I have my energy. Like if I was like a fountain of energy or something like that. So maybe I could be linked to what they're doing to me. They're able to connect through computer, through system, through their phones. Like also whistleblower information that came out during the time of COVID. They were doing like a chase, but not like a chase looking after treasures, but it was like a hunt, like a witch hunt. This is what I heard like a few years ago. So this is the state that they transformed them into. And also I was able to notice weird behavior from my family members, starting to talk in a weird way, in like robotic way, and also into like a violent and demonic way. Like, it is very weird. I have a lot of information, but this is what I can say so far. And then I saw intervention just before I do this video. I saw like a masculine energy. I don't know if it's true or not, because it's like theater for them. It's like playing the comedy. So they're like little puppets being manipulated and very corrupted. So who knows like what is true and what is not. But what I know for sure 100% is that there is human being corrupted in Quebec City who are behind human trafficking, who are behind satellite terrorism, who are behind collective abuse, targeting sabotage, directly affecting the businesses of people, the money of people, the health of people, the body, the mind of people. This could be, and not could, this is directly connected to suicide, through scam, through the economic crisis also. And it's also directly linked to orchestrated accident, heart attack, sudden death, and also it could be linked to like doctors not able to explain what someone has. So this is a non-organic thing, which is technology, dark web, programmation, hacking, and they are selling human beings basically to have this higher technology. And this is what I received as first information in 2021, when I was trying to get away of this masculine energy that would track me down. He said that I was his or step brother from another mother. He told me that he was my step brother from another mother. And we're not gonna point finger on who did what, because this is a collective energy anyways. There's not just one person into that. This is a big group of people, and everyone who have entered that group and who is corrupted and stayed silent, waiting that the targeted victim dies so you could have your cash of insurance company, or who knows why and what is it's giving them, or they're just doing this out of extreme jealousy, like this psychic told me in Miami, and they receive magically amount of money. So all of their bank account, they need to be checked, and also they need to be put on lie detectors, and questions are going to be asked. Did you ever attempted to hurt the body, the mind of someone remotely or in person, with the intention of causing harm on purpose, consciously? I'm not talking about accident, I'm talking about consciously doing something on repeat and being aware of it, using computers, higher technology, or whatever it is to hurt that person, or doing it remotely from your mind, from your body, whatever it is, your weird cult of I don't know what. The amount of things that is coming out is like out of this world, because they're saying be careful, don't accuse anyone. And this is what I do. I am coming from fact of what was spoken to me in real time. I'm not assuming, I'm not blaming, I'm coming with real example, real fact that happened in real life. So everything that I say is the pure truth. And anytime I'm gonna be plugged on lie detectors with my biggest pleasure. And I wrote this letter 5 years ago that everyone will have to be plugged on lie detectors, because they are master manipulators who try to get away with murder. And so they try to punish the same the person that they targeted and they failed at silencing, they failed at erasing or at killing. And they are still probably waiting that something happens, that, and it's never gonna happen. And God told me the same thing. They're going to lose their time. When I had my kidnapping in their healthcare system, I was traumatized. They locked the door and they took me there for 3 days. I was so scared. They were having those laser electroshock plug on my body as I was hearing crazy people screaming around me. No phone, no food, horrible condition. The violence was very severe. It was like a personal vengeance, I feel like, from a group of people who are also making money out of that, of monetizing the torture that they can inflict into someone. So yeah, I was told also that I would have to go to court because I have vision of the future. So really everything was made so I am undercover to catch those terrorists, and so we could end terrorism, criminal organization, collective rape, targeting, sabotage, and also suicides and homeless people. A lot of them are targeted too. I could have been in that position too if I didn't have the information that we have today. If I didn't have all of the information that I have today, I would not be in that position today. I had 1 year after the targeting started for me, in about 2022, I started to see targeted justice, who really helped me so much by deactivating those pervert and master manipulators, terrorists. And it was successful. It really helped me. So those who say that people don't deserve to know the truth, you are very disgusting, because people are dying from heart attacks, from sudden death, from suicides. And if people have more information and more guidance, they will be able to have a longer life and a better life too. Less anxiety, less stress, more control over themselves. And what I've noticed is how much they want to keep people in a retarded state. They want people to be less of what they are. They don't want people to be in their full potential. Also, what you need to know is that these are soldiers. Just like in the old times, I have a movie in my mind. She speaks on camera on the radio station in the 50s, and it was on Netflix like a year or 2 years ago, I think. And this is a good example that I want to use. She was starting to expose certain things and speak about certain things, to denounce certain things. And then you see the army that is the soldier. They're being raised and they're being trained. They're being trained to be disconnected, to be killing people. And you see how they are screamed after. Like you cannot have like you cannot have a personality. You cannot get have any empathy. Like, they are trained to have no emotion. So they are using certain tools that they had at this time in the 50s and the 60s. And they were able to track down that lady who speak on the radio. And they don't knock at her door. They just enter and they try to kill her with the tools in person that they had. So today, what happens, just like in McGill University that recently published that there was people abusing of certain technology to do psychological games in the minds of people. CBC News and a lot of news are covering up this new thing. Selena Gomez also in her documentary says she was receiving comments in her own mind. She was severely abused with Havana syndrome also, that could be linked to all of the tools that they use, like V2K skull technology. The symptoms are here in the back of your neck. So you receive like clicks and declicks, like I have to scratch my neck all the time. Also, they're able to raise the volume of the attacks of the voice to skull. So basically V2K skull is voice to skull. So voice in the mind, in the head of people. So this is all manipulated by a real human being, and they're able in real time to increase the volume. And my question that was not answered yet is how they're able to be close to you, and sometimes they're more in the back in echoes. Like for me, it's very rare that they were far away. Most of the time they're like 1 inch to my head, multiple people. But I was really wondering, after 5 years of studying them, why certain times they appear like further away. And ChatGPT did answer me a little bit about that. He said that sometimes they're not implicated as much. They're more like their intentions are more directed on themselves. Something like this. And this is why certain people, I feel they're further away, because they have better intentions. They're not implicated as much in the collective abuse. Something like that. But just know also that all of my words today are based on my 5 years of targeting and observations. My awakening happened in 2020, and then after my awakening, they directly started to target me when I tune into my creative energy, when I detach of the matrix, when I was able to understand that I was not my thoughts, I was not my body, and I was no longer answering the commands and the thoughts. I was no longer a puppet that they could use and play with, and I was no longer influenced or having anxiety or stress or feeling guilty or bad about the tiniest little things. Like the overthinking that I used to have was not normal. Like a simple conversation would be put down in my mind, and sometimes I would overthink about stupid things. So this is what happens when you have an awakening. You regain control over your mind, your body, and this technology, illegal surveillance and monitoring, neurological control, is no longer working. And this is why the mass awakening that we had, spiritual awakening, is a lot more. It's not just cute, it's not glamorous, it's not supposed to be cute. It's very painful. You gotta cry, you gotta forgive yourself, you gotta forgive others. And for me, in 2020, my mass awakening, I refused party, refused alcohol for 1 year, refused to hang out with certain people anymore. I focused on doing meditation, unplugging from television, starting to create, to draw, to become more intelligent, to manifest, to train every day, to lose 15 pounds, to really detoxify my body, to cry rivers and oceans, to confront my parents face to face and ask questions on why they did what they did, for example. And I traveled into time. I activated a lot of things. I promised myself that I will never take myself for granted. I did a drawing connected to spirit, and the next day I started to be attacked. And so this drawing was very special because they showed me how powerful and how much things that I could do if I would let myself go and trust life and the universe. And I had a big confidence boost, just like Beyonce, just like actress, artists that says that they have like this other side of them. Well, I met that other side of me, and sometimes when she comes, it's beautiful because we're never alone. So anyways, and they made me feel guilty and bad to discover my birth gift, my creativity, my power. They even made me think that what I'm doing was not mine. So they abused their power to another extent, not just targeting my body, my mind, 24/7 under a microscope. They also so perverted that they went to the point of laughing, mocking 1 inches from my ears as I was drawing and telling me, these are not my power. These are not my creativity. Even my throat, my singing here, my throat chakra. They targeted me heavily. Laughing and saying that I will never sing good, that I'm not good. Huge bullying and huge inhuman attacks. And now that I saw all of this for 5 years, this is just a normality that I am starting a movement and an association to denounce that. An initiative that took a lot for me to start. Took me 4 years. They targeted my job, my money, my time, my body, my relationship. I lost a lot. They stole a lot from me. And now I believe that, like it was told to me in 2020 during my menstruation, this world needs my help. And so at the end of all of this, I try to stay positive. But I also want to have a financial compensation. I want to go in court. I'm never going to give up on that. That's for sure. 100%. There's no way that I'm going to sit and let those group of people take down my life and steal from me without going in court. And I've saw other targeted individuals winning cases in the United States, and it's not really like showed too much yet. It's very, very hidden because they do manipulate the algorithm on social media. They do play with my videos too. And another woman told me in Miami, she said that they're playing with my social media to keep me small, to keep me hidden in a little corner. So all of what they did so far in 5 years will be compensated and given to me. And I'm still waiting for that. It's millions and billions of dollars for a collective lawsuit too. Because I don't want to just be compensated alone. And it's going to be easier for me also anyways if I go with other people. If we go all together, this is how we are going to win this. Because your testimony, your truth, and if you are, and have been in a cult, receiving money that appears in your bank account, your story will be used to prosecute, and so we could have the death penalty in cases of terrorism, human trafficking, first-degree crimes. So we could change the laws, because how we romanticize the crimes these days is not normal. And also what I was able to hear from those terrorism, human trafficking, is that basically it's like a fight between brothers and sisters, diminishing to that point in a psychos, not even seeing reality anymore. And when I was in Griffintown, I would see one of my ex also that was not even able to see if I was real or not in the elevator. Lost touch of reality. And he was taking a lot of drugs too. And it's not, you know what, I'm not accusing the drug. It's not a question of drug here. It's a question of mind control, of targeting on a lot of things. But this is 5 years of my life. And those groups, you know what they say? There's no way she can get our justice. There's no way, because we have so much money around this around this human trafficking. But they try for 5 years. 5 years. So after 5 years of having people targeting you and trying to kill you, you know that you're protected. My prayers have been working. I'm protected. And I know it. That makes me powerful. And my spiritual protection is real and very powerful, and none of your money, none of your human trafficking will protect you. And they really think, you know what, they've been repeated a lot these last days, that a building is worth more than my life, that this, and they start laughing and making comparison about this. This is very precise. This is human beings there. And I had visions also in big rooms where they have bags over their head. They have masks too. I had precise visions where spirit is taking me. Just like Albert Einstein was falling asleep with a spoon to have his answers, that I'm able to do the same, but in a certain state of sleep. And disclaimer, before anyone comes at me here, everyone has abilities and spiritual abilities. Everyone, no exception. We're all powerful. We all have different gifts, different personalities, different intelligence. I don't think I'm better than anyone, but I'm taking an initiative. I put a lot of work and effort into my videos, my editing, my association, my social media. I was called crazy by my own family, by strangers, by people commenting on social media that I was crazy to say out loud that I was not vaccinated, that I was stupid, basically. Stupid to speak up on social media about what they're doing to me, basically. Not knowing that I'm building an association and a big movement that is here to dismantle the one thing that they are scared of and that they pretended it doesn't exist. All of those uncomfortable truths and all of the people who pretended it don't exist. This is why we still have war, corruption, human trafficking. So I know what I'm doing, and also we're gonna finish with that. There's feminine energy in the back. She said, they are extremely jealous now because of you. Because it's you speaking. I should be like, let's say, not getting ready, looking like my worst, or like just being a man, or I don't know. But because it's me speaking, it bothered people. Because you should not have an intelligence if you wear pink and if you are the way you are. They are still judging people based on what they look like. And they're still, right now, if they watch my videos, just like a pervert narcissistic, you are telling them, let's say, that they cheated on you with all the proof in front of them, they're gonna pretend you don't say anything. They're even gonna avoid what you're showing them. And they will say that it's not true. Women, when you have the proof. So this is what we're facing. We're facing disconnected, pervert, narcissistic, we're NPCs, not conscious, not connected, and that are controlled by a programming and technology like puppets in a zombie state, at the mercy of this world, at the mercy of jealousy, pulsions of violence, pulsions of rage that they are not able to deactivate. So just because it's me speaking, some people are going to be jealous because I should be an airy man, or I should be like, I don't know, called another name, or just because supposedly it's me. It's like if I don't have an influence or a credit because it's me, supposedly. But anyways, so this is what I have to say. So thank you for listening. And now I'm creating also a podcast every Tuesday. I'm gonna see you no matter where you are in the world. I'm now doing podcasts every Tuesday. So we could all come together. If you are a person that was in a cult, if you want to join the light, if you are tired to be in this invisible cage, if you want to have a better life and come out of this, then you can message me in private, comment below in this video. You can comment below in this video, and I will message you personally, and you can send me your email, and then we can schedule a Zoom call, a video call, a phone call that will be used on my social media or not, and we can also keep this private if you prefer that. So you have the choice to be you have the choice to use those videos for my podcast that will be everywhere on my social media, or we can also keep this conversation private. So this is your choice. I love you so much, and hopefully we're coming all together for something bigger than ourselves, and that concerns everyone in this world. We have to be solidarity, and one for all for one. I love you so much. Peace.